Hello students, welcome once again to Sai's English lessons. Today we are going to learn about skimming and scanning, specifically in a reading comprehension paper. In the last class, we did the reading comprehension using the contextual meaning and its technique. Today's class is going to be much interesting because unlike other channels, we will be specifically and very pinpointedly we will be teaching you as how to use skimming and scanning in reading comprehension. Before beginning, let's understand the meaning of skimming and scanning. What is skimming? It is nothing but reading a text very quickly in order to quickly understand the general understanding or what is being provided. This technique is also to get a quick overview over the entire content which is given. This is very useful because in reading comprehension, the questions are exactly required the answers which are actually being a part of the passage. Skimming also involves a quick overview. What is the meaning of overview? Which is nothing but reading of the text, and it should not use as a substitute for deep reading. Therefore, it is difficult to get materials and facts from skimming. Therefore, we have another technique which is called as scanning. Let's look into what is scanning. Scanning is nothing but reading a text quickly to find specific information. Please give more emphasis on this. Scanning is specific information. This is because in reading comprehension, questions will need specific answers in a very quick time because we have to work over the time limit as we are giving the exams in 2 hours. And as I told you in the last class, the reading comprehension sections should not take more than 5 minutes for particular reading comprehension, and if you are becoming an expert, it should not take more than 3 minutes. Scanning should be used to find information based on specific keywords. Please make a note of this again, and it is easier for the reader to find the information that is required. Scanning cannot get a general overview of the text. It is used to find specific facts. Now, Keshav will be demonstrating how to do the skimming and scanning using the GCSE English as a Second Language paper, which is 4ESO01. Let's look into how my student Keshav does reading comprehension using the specific techniques of skimming and scanning.
Now, look into the passage on the screen and use your understanding of skimming and scanning in order to skim through the passage. You can use the highlighted portions of the passage as guidance. This passage was taken directly from a Pearson EdExcel International GCSE question paper, and therefore it will be useful for you to develop your skimming and scanning skills. Make sure to skim through the passage and not read it. You can use the time that we will provide to pause the video and skim through the passage. Resume the video once you are done. Now, you should have completed skimming through the passage and you should be ready to move on to the next step, which we will do together. That is the scanning step. As you can see on the screen, there are 5 questions which we will be answering using a combination of skimming and scanning methods. The highlighters we have used highlight portions of the text that can be answered with skimming for the questions in yellow, and portions of the text which are answered with scanning in pink. We make this distinction because questions that can be answered with skimming do not have as many keywords, but questions that can be answered with scanning require specific keywords to go through the text and take the necessary information that we need. By now, you should have skimmed through the text, and therefore you should be ready to answer the questions which rely on skimming alone. However, we will help you to do the questions that need to be answered with scanning. Let us look at the first question. According to experts, what has advantages for children? Now, a quick skim through the text will tell us that this text is an article that emphasizes the importance of going barefoot in a young age, that is, not wearing shoes. So if we read through the very first sentence of this passage, it says, "Some experts now believe that all shoes are best avoided in childhood and that going barefoot has many benefits." As you can see, going barefoot is what the experts recommend. So therefore here we write our answer as going barefoot. As we learnt in the previous class, we should not use a full sentence, and in the EdExcel board especially, you will lose marks if you use more than 3 words taken directly from the text. For reading comprehension questions, you should not attempt to use your own words. Rather, you should take these words directly from the text which you have obtained with your skimming and scanning. Moving on to the second question. What is slowed down by the use of footwear in early life? Now, there is no specific keyword here that we can use to get from the passage. Therefore, it is a skimming question. So as we look through the passage, we see that it is believed that wearing shoes at too young an age can hinder a child's walking development. We have highlighted this in yellow because it is the answer for the second question. What is slowed down by the use of footwear in early life? The child's walking development, or just walking development, is slowed down by the use of footwear in early life. Many of these questions can be answered by simply skimming through the passage, but some of these questions you will need to look more specifically using the scanning method. We shall now demonstrate an example. When not wearing shoes, what do toddlers have to do less often? Now, most of the words are general except for the word toddlers. We can move on to the second passage and we see that the word toddlers is here. Once you identify the keyword that you are looking for example, toddlers, you need to read through the sentences beside it in order to get your answer. So when learning how to walk, toddlers keep their heads up more than when they are walking barefoot. The feedback they get from the ground means that there is not as much need to look down, which is what puts them off balance and causes them to fall over. Now, somebody might write that toddlers keep their heads up as the answer here. But as you can see, the question asks, what do toddlers have to do less often? Another synonym for less often is not as much need. That is, they do not need to do it as frequently. So as you can see here, the answer is look down, which we have highlighted in pink. Moving on to the fourth question. What could parents avoid with a better understanding of children's feet? Now, a better understanding of children's feet and parents can be taken as the keywords for this question, and therefore we need to use the scanning method. The more parents know about the structure, as you can see, the word parents is right here at the beginning sentence of the third paragraph. The more parents know about the structure of children's feet, the more can be done to prevent footwear-related damage. Now, we cannot write this full sentence, obviously, since we're supposed to write no more than 3 words from the text. Therefore, we must only write footwear-related damage. It says here that parents can prevent footwear-related damage, and therefore, what could parents avoid with a better understanding of children's feet? The answer is footwear-related damage. Moving on to the fifth question. What are feet not able to do in traditional types of footwear? Now, you could assume that the keyword here is traditional, but as you would have understood by looking through the passage, there is no word called traditional here. So you use a simple tactic, that is, what is the fourth question here? Where did we find the answer? We found it in the third paragraph starting line. Generally, in the Pearson EdExcel GCSE question pattern, the answers come in chronological order. That means they come one after the other, the questions. So we will see here that what are feet not able to do in traditional types of footwear? We know that it's not in the first or second paragraph, but it has to be starting from this line, starting from the third paragraph. Research published in The Foot in 2007 suggests that structural and functional changes can result from the foot having to conform to the shape and constriction of a shoe rather than being allowed to develop naturally. Now, as you can see, there are many words here, but the key point we are looking for is that develop naturally. Now, how do we get this develop naturally? We need to understand that we cannot scan since there are no keywords that are useful in this question. Therefore, we need to skim through the passage. And by skimming through, we realize that there is a certain research that talks about shoes. Now, shoes are traditional types of footwear like slippers and sandals. Shoes are a traditional type of footwear which is a synonym for what is given here. Therefore, the answer here is develop naturally. So we would write that down since we need to have the shortest possible answer that is taken directly from the text. By now, you should have an understanding of skimming and scanning and how to use them to get answers from a reading comprehension passage.
Hope you all understood the demonstration given by my student Keshav, and I hope you all understood how to skim and scan for the reading comprehension. Keshav did the first 5 questions, and the next 5 questions we are going to give you as an assignment. What we are going to do is we are going to attach the Google Drive with the questions. You can use that link and look for the reading comprehension and the rest of the questions and attempt the reading comprehension and write your correct answers in the chat box. Within some time, we will be giving you the correct answers. Now let's quickly do the plenary. What's skimming and scanning? Skimming, it's a quick method of comprehension, whereas scanning, it's a quick method of comprehension again. And skimming, it saves a lot of time. Same with the scanning, it saves a lot of time. Another difference is in skimming, you get an overall gist of a text. Here in scanning, this is the specific facts you get. This is the important difference which you need to get into your mind. And the last one is it reads the surface, that is the introductory passages that are there in each paragraphs, and in scanning reads the text according to certain keywords to get information. I hope this video was helpful for all of you. Please learn and please use these videos which we will be putting it continuously. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.